Oh my God, that worked flawless again. So here we are.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, still on Nick motherfucking Saturday, baby. And we
Yep.
have our second final guest, but our final guest until 7 tonight. It's an
Yep.
honor to have you guys on the show. I know we've tried to have you on a few times and it finally worked out. Please introduce yourselves.
So my name's Charlotte. I am the lead vocalist and frontwoman of Effects May Vary.
And my name's Kyle, and I play the bass and provide additional vocals for Effects May Vary.
All right, so right out of the gate, I should say.
2 sentences in one.
Yes.
We can mix metaphors here.
Well, why not?
Perfect. So
I'm a writer. There's no rules.
Your new video. Tell us a bit about that, man. Like, how did that come about? The song and the video.
So actually, so the new song that we have out is it's called Parasite, and I actually wrote that song about one of my friends who was in a very, very toxic relationship, and so we'd been telling her for almost a year that, this guy was no good for her and she just wasn't listening. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a song about it. And so yeah, I just sat down and wrote the song, and then it sounded really cool. So I brought it to the band and I was like, hey guys, we should play this. And I pretty much wrote the music video at the same time. So Parasite is my baby. Parasite is I've been sitting on this song for like 2-3 years now, and it's finally out there for the world to see, and I'm just super excited.
It was a pretty fun process too, because when she brought it to us, it was a melody and a bunch of chords on an acoustic guitar, and she was like, I want to metalize this, but I'm not sure how. and so we, as the players in the band, we kind of took it and took some time with it, and we're like, okay, there's got to be a breakdown in here. We got to make the chords really heavy, tune it down a bit, and we played it for her, and she was like, this is just pretty great. So we went with it, and it was impressive that she had the whole video already in her head.
Already,
Yep.
I've got to say, like, for myself as an artist and being a musician, I normally write the riff first, then the lyrics come after. So considering you had the video in your head, you had the lyrics in your head, how does that manifest for you? How do you bring that music to be what you want it to be in the end?
Honestly, it's kind of just like getting struck by lightning. I just have this bolt of inspiration, and I sit down and I wrote out that whole song. I have a music instructor that helps me with the lyrics. And usually when I bring lyrics to him, he's like, okay, we need to change this and that and this and that. And he read through those particular lyrics, and he's like, I'm not changing a damn thing.
Oh, wow. Eh?
Nice. Right on. So go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, when you have your product and you take it to Kyle here, how do you take her idea and run with that? Like, and where she's like, that's cool, because it's your idea. Obviously, you have a vision, and for you to come in on that vision, how does that all come together, man?
Part of it is just similar influences. So like when she and I met, it was because I saw her at a concert in our hometown wearing an In This Moment t-shirt, and I had just seen In This Moment a week before. So I went over, we started chatting, and long story short, we agreed to jam together sometime. And quickly realized that we listen to a lot of the same bands. So when she says she wants a certain sound, it's easy for me to hear that in my head and be like, okay, this is how we reproduce that just off of the chords that she's brought. And then, of course, myself and Nick, our guitar player, we also do a lot of writing of our own. And it's a lot of fun to, from the way you were describing, like we come up with the riff and we bring it to her. And bring it to her. We're usually in the same room as long as we're not in lockdown. Yeah, Charlotte, you're okay there?
So River's in the room, and our most popular band member is just, hold on one sec. River, come here. Come here. This is River. He is our most popular band member.
Oh,
But yeah,
Right,
he was trying to get up on my lap, so sorry guys.
Just to sum up there, we just we have pretty good synergy in our heads as far as what we want a given song to sound like, so it makes it real easy to collaborate.
No, that's actually fantastic to hear, especially nowadays. It's hard to, not hard to, but for the bands we've been talking to, it's been hard for them to get together, whether it's through sending the music to each other or finally getting together, and what they get one day a month, in between the lockdown and all that, right? So it's nice to see that you guys are still able to produce music during all this fucking bullshit that's going on, right? So
yeah, it has been very hard, but we've worked really hard to make sure that we're not at a standstill here. So we're proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
Oh, and you should be, man. Like, you guys have done a lot, actually, compared to most bands that we see nowadays. You know what I mean? You guys are producing the new content. I know our show's a bit different. We always had people that are still doing this, you know what I mean? But it's, out of all the bands, there's not really a lot that are staying together during all this shit and producing music and ready for when the floodgates open and the world opens. So it's fantastic to see that you guys are still working on new music. You're still shooting videos. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, if I can just add some insight into that,
Of course.
I think a big part of that is that all four of us in the band have spent the majority of our lives working with music. And so the fact that we're together at a point in our lives where we have an opportunity to come out of this pandemic swinging and actually get up on some stages and play our music, it's got us all really driven.
Well, that's good to hear. That's awesome. It's nice to know there's bands that are literally sitting on the edge of their seats just waiting. Like TJ said, it's 50-50. A lot of them haven't made it through this. So it's nice to know that, we are watching bands ready out the gate to, tour and do the things that they're doing and dropping albums and stuff like that. So one thing I had noticed when I was hanging around your page was the Easter eggs. you have them in 3 of your songs?
Yes, we have included Easter eggs in each of our official videos. So Scarlet, Second Stage, and Parasite each have that Easter egg present. And we actually, I'll announce it here because why not?
Why not?
We just got shirts as merch. And what we were intending to do, and there you go, Kyle. So we have shirts. That's our logo.
Kyle up on the full screen for us.
Nice.
Let's see that shirt in detail, baby. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the design is great.
Thank you. I
like that.
I love it.
Cool.
No, I do. I love it.
Thank you, Brennan.
Yeah.
So, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have a contest. The first person to identify the Easter egg and where it is in each of the 3 videos is going to win a shirt.
Oh, I'm Googling it now, buddy. I'm on this.
Well, that's why when you guys earlier were like, so what's the Easter egg? I was like, no, wait.
Man, I was waiting, right? Like,
I was kind of
because I would disqualify us if we knew. Now I want to go look for it.
No, that's great.
That's
you guys are bringing in your fans and being interactive with them like that. That's something I haven't seen before with the bands. Like, oh, we put some Easter eggs in the video, and you see that shit. We'll send you some merch. Nobody's doing that right now, right?
Yeah.
So,
you got to be the first person, but
that's fantastic.
Oh, it's very important to us to have that kind of relationship. Like, if we want to build up a fan base and we want to have people coming, then we want to respect those people enough to engage with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, because if our fans don't, if we don't interact with our fans, then what are we doing?
No, exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly. And as a fan, we love that shit.
As a fan, of like Breaking Benjamin or stuff like that myself, every time they do something like that, I'm like, yes, thank you. You appreciate me. I love it.
Yeah,
no, it's so true,
right on. And you just led into my next question. You guys have such a great sound. Where do you pull your influence from for your sound, like for your particular sound?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Breaking Benjamin, just because they're essentially the soundtrack of my life. So
right on. I love them.
All of their lyrics are beautiful and poetic, and they have a point, and that's what I want my lyrics to be. I don't want them to be just like empty. I want them to have meaning. I want them to have
just hollow words that you spew out on the mic, which has no meaning, but people pick up on that. And I find that with your music, especially with like as you guys build and create more music, you're really getting into that groove of putting out that passion within your music, and it really reflects back onto us as fans that, hey, these guys are legit. This is good shit. You know what I mean? So.
Thank you.
Yeah, passion makes a difference. Absolutely. You can tell when a band's heart is in it and when it's not. And you guys definitely have that sound where, where you guys do put your heart into it, which is really nice. So I had also read on your page that you guys just got onto TikTok. Is that just you yourself, or I know nothing about TikTok, so this is a learning thing for me too.
If it's any consolation, I'm on TikTok and I know nothing about TikTok.
Okay. Well, it is. That makes me feel a lot better.
I was trying to
feel the same way about Twitter.
I was trying to duet a video the other day and I had to Google it. I was like, oh my God, I feel so old right now. I don't know how to use this app.
Well, I have intentionally not tried to do anything more with TikTok than just watching TikToks because I don't want to feel like a boomer.
Okay, yeah, see.
I'm pretty pressured with TikTok because, like, I can dance. I've done dancing lessons. I've danced throughout my whole life, but I don't know about dancing on camera. That's how I view TikTok. It's always dancing fucking videos. You get out of your car, you do this dance, you know what I mean? So for you guys to be on that kind of platform, what are you offering on TikTok?
So essentially our TikTok is called it's Char's Car Karaoke. And so really it's just me doing a bunch of covers of music that I have in my car. So,
in the car, no way, man.
Yeah. There's also a running joke where like I'll start singing something and then try to throw it to River, my service dog, and he won't sing with me.
That's fun.
So I'm like, Riv, why aren't you singing with me? What's going on here?
We're trying to train him, but he's a slow study.
Yeah.
He picks up on everything so fast, but he won't sing for me.
Just can't sing, eh?
He's not that kind of service dog.
Yeah.
No.
Right on. Right. That's funny. I had my question and I lost it.
Oh yeah, I've got one real quick.
It was right there. It was right there, and then I made that service dog comment, and it was gone.
So, while she's thinking about what she was going to say, you guys are local. Today's actually been pretty much all local, all Ontario bands. So
that was my question.
Where are you guys out of, in like as a band in whole? Like,
well, we're centered in Newmarket. We were all living in Newmarket before the pandemic. What was it? The summertime that you moved up north?
Yep. I've almost been in this house for an entire year.
So yeah, she moved up to Elmvale.
Oh,
Elmvale?
Yep.
I know exactly where you are. My workshop is literally 2 minutes away from Elmville.
Yeah.
And where we're building our festival grounds to be throwing our own private shows here in the Boneyard is in just outside of Elmville.
Really?
So,
Hi.
we will hook up for coffee soon, and I will take you over and show you that shit, and we'll see if you guys are interested in maybe fucking playing our show for us.
I can
Absolutely.
say right now, we probably most likely yes.
I'm pretty sure. I know we've done it once today. If Brandon could pull up the picture of when you're on the stage, this will be your view as you're playing the fucking concert. That's it right there, baby.
Yep.
We got a bit more cleaning to do and stuff, but we've cleared all that out. We've pulled all the stumps out. We've leveled the land. You know what I mean? So we're basically ready to start. We've staked out the stage last week, and we're ready to start breaking ground and making that shit happen. So
Nice. That'll be exciting where everybody else is going to have to drive to the show.
No, I know, right? So,
The first time
I just
ever.
walk there.
yeah. We are right now for the slumber party package. We are talking to the hotels in the area, and we're hoping to have them collaborate with us so that when you buy your ticket and you're staying for the 2 days, you have a hotel, you have a bus route back to your room. It's all included. So you're not paying
that's
extra for
sick.
this or that. You pay one price, your hotel, your cab, everything's all included, right? So crossing our fingers, baby.
That is a solid idea.
Yeah. So.
Charlotte, are you a boxer?
I mean, I did kickboxing for a while, but
Okay.
so yeah, I've retained all of that training, but currently I am not.
Okay. Right on. I just thought I'd ask. It was something I had noticed on your page. So,
I was gonna say, where did that come from? Like, I know backstage we were talking about me training, doing my boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu and stuff, right? But I never
Well,
even
that
thought to
comes-
ask you if you were.
that
into
comes from Amanda doing her homework.
We
Most
did
of her
get to show
homework.
off a little bit of Char's kickboxing skills in the Parasite video.
Yeah.
See, and that was my next question. Was it fun to get out and do that?
It was super fun to do all of that.
Yeah.
It was nice to bust out my boxing gloves again and have an excuse to hang up that punching bag in my basement. It's been sitting in my garage almost all year, but then we were filming the video and I was like, I get to hang up my punching bag, guys.
Yeah, it's happening, she says.
Yep.
Right on. So
Whole
how
house.
long? Yeah. Eh? How long did it take to put the video together?
It was 2 separate filming sessions. The first one with all of it was filmed in my house. So the first filming session was all of the scenes with Eric, and then the second set of filming, each part was about 4 hours, and the second part of filming was all the kickboxing and the jogging montage and all of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it took about 2 days.
That's what I pictured when I was watching it. I was like, "This is just like fucking Rocky, baby."
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's what we were going for.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you did a great job.
Sorry, how long did you say it took to put it together?
So it took about 8 hours over 2 days.
That's right
Of
on.
shooting.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
editor took a week or two, gave us a few different cuts of the video to consider, and I think altogether it was 2 or 3 weeks after the video was shot that we were able to get it out.
Right on.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
pretty wild, eh? Like, that's actually a quick turnaround as far as filming and stuff. Like, you hear, I don't want to put any like big names out, but you hear the bigger names. I know Korn took fucking 18 months to do their album and a couple of videos, you know. And the more bands we talk to, they're doing it in 24 hours or the next day. You know what I mean? Their videos out and produced. Why do you guys think that's such a challenge when you get, say, to that level?
I know exactly why it is. It's label interference. It's corporate interference. It's interactions between a band that probably has a packed performance schedule, and well, maybe not during the recording of an album, but they're going to have a packed schedule in one way or another. And then you're also dealing with the production house that is shooting the video. You're likely getting actors and actresses involved if it's a narrative style video that they've got to be contracted. And then, of course, everything has to wait to be released for the album and tour cycle. So that extends the process of everything.
Wow. So how, I know being you guys kind of independent and like a lot of other bands we've interviewed, is that a bonus for you guys to be able to put your content out there a lot quicker than these other bands then, or?
We find it highly meaningful. I know Charlotte has some very particular opinions about when and how quickly things need to come out, so I could let her take the lead on that question.
Do explain.
Charlotte is very impatient.
Yeah.
Charlotte doesn't like sitting on good stuff. Every time we have a video that we're going to release, I feel like I've just bought the best Christmas present for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell them what it is. And it's just, that's why Christmas drives me insane. Because like I buy presents and I'm super excited to give them to people and I can't tell anybody and I suck at keeping secrets.
Yep.
It's just surprised I haven't told you what the Easter eggs are.
I know. I'm so glad you haven't, secrets, but you know.
Especially when I'm excited about something.
Yeah, I really wanted to know. I know it does say the 3 songs that are in it on your page. How did you come up with the idea of putting Easter eggs through your songs?
It's all her.
I work at Honda Canada Manufacturing. So yes, I do. That's cool. Maybe why I'm so buff.
You're over in Alliston there then. Alliston, Ontario?
Yep, in Alliston, yeah.
Okay, what plant you at then?
Plant 1.
Oh, okay. I know quite a few people that work there. I did a lot of the maintenance for your K-loaders and stuff that load the trains for you guys. We did all the hydraulic line. We did all your K-loaders, everything that deals with outside with your hydraulics. We dealt with all that, put all that together for you guys. So that's pretty cool, actually.
Pretty cool. It's a small world, eh?
Yeah, it is.
So essentially while I'm working, all I have time to do is think. So my brain is just constantly going. And these ideas just pop up in my head. I'm like, oh God, we should do this. Or, oh, we should do that. And like, they just pop into my head, honestly. It's because my brain is just constantly going. It's just churning out ideas all the time. So after I get home from work or when I'm on break, I'll just shoot a message to Kyle and be like, yo, we should do this.
It's crazy. Some days I'll be working and like I do business to business marketing phone calls, so I have to be very focused on that, and then I'll get messages on my other screen from Charlotte with all these ideas about the band, and I'm like, that sounds really cool, but I don't have time to think about that. But I'm gonna think about that.
And the time he's gotten a chance to think about it, I've rethought it like 4 times, and it's even better.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like the process between myself and my publisher and myself and TJ.
Yeah, we're the worst for that. I'll come up with an idea and I'll just give her the basis, but then I've already planned the whole idea out and I forget to tell her the rest of the plan.
Essentially, right? That's it. I'm like, so this is more of a heads up. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. TJ does that a lot too. I find I do that to my publisher a lot too. I'll call her and go, so I've got this idea, and I'll spend 2 hours rambling about this idea. And by the time I'm done, I'm expecting her, like I'm wanting her to go, dude, like you got too many projects on the go. It's not a good idea. Like I want her to say these things to me because every single time I tell her a new idea, she goes, you should do that. Yeah. So it's hard to decide what I do and don't want to do. I have like 10 books on the go. So like, how do you guys decide what is what as far as succession of when you release stuff, when you have a large pile of stuff on your table? You know, like, is it just a specific song that comes to you that you're like, okay, that's what we're going to do next? Or do you find that when you're in the middle of writing something else comes to you and you decide that that's like, how does the process work for you guys when it comes to putting things together? Pardon?
I was just saying that happens all the time. Like we'll get distracted, like jamming one song that's written and ready to go, and then we'll be like, "Wait, but what about this?"
Yeah.
and it can be very hard to focus things. And Charlotte's very good at saying, "Okay, we need to get one of these done." And at that point, I'll take over and be like, "Okay, let's sit down with the microphones," and I usually take point on actually laying down the tracks, and so. We'll get the drums in for whatever is the most complete, whatever one we're playing live best currently. And so we'll just lay it down, drums, guitar, bass, vocals. And I have an uncle who's got like 30 years professional production experience. Ooh. So he's been very kind to help us with mastering the tracks. And then we just get them out as quick as we can.
Right on.
Well, shout out to Maximum there.
Yeah, I was just going to say hi to
him. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we've got a few people all day. Like, I haven't been able to hit the chat all day. I've been trying to go between my computer. This is why I keep looking this way. I've been trying to go between my computer and my screen and keep up with the chat and keep up with what's going on here. But the chat on my computer isn't coming up
David?
As quickly as everything else. Oh, nice. Right on.
No, nice to see him watching.
Yeah, right on. So, So I want to know the process that you guys had for Parasite. Like, it seemed to just kind of be like, okay, this is exactly how we're going to do it. And it just kind of happened, right? Was that the same process for your other two singles?
For one of them.
Just the one, he says.
In the same sense that Charlotte had already fully written Parasite before any of us met, and we just had to learn how to play it and learn how we wanted to play it, and it was then immediately complete. That was the same sort of process for our first single, Scarlet, which I'd written like 5 years ago or something like that. And so that one, my other band had actually learned to play it. And then when we fell apart, it was like, well, I still want to actually record this someday. So when the four of us got together, it's like, guys, can we play this song? And Nick already knew it, so it was really easy to just play it. And Charlotte was able to find a really awesome way to lend her vocals into a song that wasn't written for any other vocalist but me. But yeah, it worked out really easy, just because those two were already fully written. Second Stage was a completely different story, and I was actually very little involved with the origination of that one. So Charlotte's going to have to explain how that
It's all on you, baby.
So what happened with Second Stage is I had written it, and then we were working on other songs at that time, and I was just sitting on this song, and you know me, I'm sitting on something good. It's I got to get this out here. I can't wait. I just have to. So essentially, Kyle and Eric went upstairs for some reason. So I was just by myself in our rehearsal space with Nick, the guitarist. So I sat down and I was like, okay, listen, this is what's going to happen. Okay. These are the riffs. This is what you're going to play. Just try it and, see what you think and let me know. And so he started playing it. He's like, oh, this song is cool. We need to learn this song. So Kyle and Eric came back down and Nick was and I was like, all right, guys, we're going to learn this song. Let's go. And so
that's pretty good how that flows through, though. Like, it seems like you guys have a very good vibe amongst the band, and you can tell by the few songs, like, everything jives. It goes very well. None of it feels forced. None of it feels generic. It all has a natural feel to it, man. Like,
yeah.
Is that something you guys even think about while you're writing, or do you just let it go and that's just what happens at the end?
we just kind of write what we want, honestly. That's why, we're called Effects May Vary, right? We're not trying to contain ourselves within, we're this or we're that, right? So we have the freedom of writing whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also Oh, sorry.
No.
There it is,
Let's
baby.
just all
Dave is
talk
gonna
once
take
and see
David.
what happens.
Yeah, right.
No, sorry. I was just going to add on to what Charlotte was saying there as well, because I've actually done a lot of thinking about that exact question. And I think it really comes down to two things. First of all, we all have a very broad enjoyment of a lot of different subgenres of rock and metal. So when somebody comes up with a riff, it's very easy for us to make it work while incorporating a whole lot of different influences. But at the same time, Nick is very obviously a talented lead guitar player. I started playing the bass in order to make sure that the microphone was front and center for Charlotte. So not only do I not have as much baked in skill on the instrument, I'm very much focused on being a complementary part of the mix. So that helps everything really fit together really well, because I'm finding those soft spots in the texture to really bring the whole thing up another level without trying to show off or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I don't do solos myself. I do mainly the main riffs. Then I send that out to other people, and they write the lyrics, they write the solo, they do the drums. I just have that little small piece of the puzzle, and everybody else is the rest of the puzzle. Like, that's very nice to hear that you guys are like that, like a puzzle. You have a piece, and he has a piece. Sorry, he has the piece, and then the other band members fill in that puzzle, and then when you come together in the end, it makes this amazing music that you guys are putting out for us right now, right? So,
well, we're just happy to hear that people are liking our jam.
Oh, absolutely.
Because half the time that's what it is. It's we jam for 10 minutes and record it, and it's like, hey, that actually sounds good. Let's make it a song.
So that's how the magic happens, eh?
Half the time.
Half the time. Some of those are the next ones coming out.
Yeah, and the other half is organized chaos, I imagine, because that's how we keep our shit together, right?
From Australia, that's our representative down there. She's the one that's bringing us all these Australian amazing bands.
Yeah.
I know we haven't had one on in a day or two, but she actually, our last band that we had on from Toronto here, she's the reason why we got to know them. She's from
How
Australia,
weird is that?
which is fucking weird. Totally weird.
Yeah, so we have a promoter and manager that coordinates with us for our schedule, and she handed us off the band Dead Wolff before the ones before you.
Yep.
And she's from Australia, and they're from Toronto. We're this far away from them as compared to how far away we are from her. And she was like, I have a band for you. So she pretty much took right out of our backyard and gave it, which was really nice. It was cool. It's nice when... Go ahead.
Oh, I'll definitely be sending your guys over her way so she can start promoting you over there. And then when you guys do your Australian tour, hopefully I'm on the bill. I just come with you.
Honestly, it's been my dream to go to Australia ever since little 5-year-old Charlotte saw the Wiggles.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that.
Yeah, see, for me, it was 35-year-old me that saw the Wiggles.
Yeah, right. I know all the dances, man. I've got this shit down like Pat.
Everybody's like, oh, why do you love Australians so much? And I was like, the Wiggles.
Yeah. How could you not love Australia because of that, right? Like,
yep.
That's so funny. Well, I have 2 littles, so I know all the dances and I know all the songs. Not proud of it, but I do.
Yeah. What were the other fucking dumb ones that had the big thing? Not the Wiggles. There was another one. Maybe it was the Wiggles.
No.
I remember my friend Rachel, she was like, just before lockdown, I went and seen her. And her and I, we used to go to a lot of shows together back when we were younger. She's like, you know what show I just seen? The Wiggles. She was like, that's the greatest show I've seen ever.
I bet there's some pretty incredible musicians, man.
And you know why? It's because their kids were quiet through the whole show. That's why she loved it so much, you know?
Yes, that is exactly why we love stuff like that.
Right? Like, so being local and stuff, with you guys being Ontario based, it's hard to get an inspiration as Ontario bands other than what's our biggest band, like a Tragically Hip. We have Stompin' Tom, you know
My
what
Mother
I mean?
Earth.
But those are
We have
all
the Tea
bands
Party,
that did not
Big Wreck.
break
Who did you
out of
say?
Canada.
Rush.
Yeah, let's just keep going because
Go on, and I will talk after we have Rush.
no,
right?
TJ, continue. Sorry, we're just sticking around.
I was just making sure you didn't forget about them because they're my favorite.
Are they? Other than Rush, a lot of those bands didn't really break out of Canada per se. Like Tragically Hip, you could go anywhere in Canada, sold out fucking show. I've seen them down in New York. There was 50 of us. You know what I mean? Like literally right across the border. So I noticed you guys have been gaining a lot of traction in the States lately, have you not?
Not that we've directly heard, but I think we had a fantastic interaction with Scott from Dispel.
Yeah.
On the Box show.
Yeah.
And so we've been trying to make sure that interaction stays alive, and hopefully when the borders open again, might have a chance to work together.
Been a couple bands backstage when I've been just shooting the shit that your name has come up as one of the local bands that they've been listening to. So it's not just the Spell that is listening to you guys. There's some bands down in Texas. You guys are breaking into Florida. I hope.
Just so you know.
My face is very warm right now.
Cleveland, Cleveland. Not
and very, very red. Not to point it out.
We didn't know that we were getting that kind of reach, but I'm going to give a big shout out to Dave for that. I think he's been incredibly vocal in his support for us as young artists, and
which is great.
So we're extremely grateful for his support.
Yes,
that's awesome.
And then, of course, now being here speaking with you, we're very happy that we're getting our names out there with your audience as well.
Yeah, and we'll push it wherever we can for sure.
Yeah, we love doing interviews with awesome people. So
you guys are a lot of fun. Absolutely. I mean, we've been doing this all day, and you guys by far have been a great, relaxing, interactive, comfortable interview for sure. You know,
with our first two bands, Dead Wolff and the first band, that's
Lycanthro.
Yep, because I can't pronounce shit. We were kind of not rushed, but it was because we had the other band following up. So when you guys said you wanted to do today, I found out they were booked in because with their representative, they just send me the time of the day, and then I just make it happen. When they were like, we're on at 1 and 2, and I already knew we had you guys on 3, that's why I was like, fuck, we might overlap. We're gonna definitely bring the other band on if we go too long, and you guys, you know what I mean. So
I know this is a nice way to end the first half. The first half of our day. So it has been a wonderful conversation with you guys. I'm really happy we finally got to do this.
Fantastic.
Yeah, me too. Or us too.
I fully agree.
Yeah. So, how did you guys come up with the name? I see a giggle. Now I really want to know.
Yeah. I got to pee so bad, but I'll wait. I want to hear this.
You should wait.
So when we first started talking about forming a band, I have to mention this because Kyle overlooked it, and I just have to mention it. We started talking because he saw my In This Moment t-shirt, and he came over to hit on me. That's how we
wasn't going to put that part in.
No, you have to.
I did say long story short. That is implied in the long story.
Ego, it has to go in. So we were talking about, we were sitting talking about it, and I said, well, I've always wanted to have a band called Residual Side Effect. And we thought that was a little bit too much of a mouthful. So then we were going to go with Side Effect, but unfortunately Side Effect is already taken.
Yeah.
And then Kyle suggested, why not Effects May Vary? So
we already had a pretty wide array of kind of different sounds on each song that we were playing at the time, and it just kind of fit to me. Plus, then we got that stylized like FX, kind of like an RX on a prescription note, and it was just like everything kind of fit in our minds.
I was gonna say, when I seen the FX, it looks like a fucking prescription. Like everybody should have a piece of this, you know?
Yeah, actually,
we don't, that was good, TJ.
We don't have any I don't have any to show you guys right now, but I made we have a bunch of these little pill bottles with labels on them with effects may vary on them, and we're gonna toss them out at shows.
You should put little pieces of your lyrics.
They're full of Tic
roll
Tacs,
up like
actually.
a SOS in a bottle and toss them out, man. That'd be sick.
Well, actually, what we're gonna do is if you get one, and so we're all about recycling the bottles. So if you get one and you eat all the Tic Tacs and then you bring it back to us, you'll get something in return.
Ooh. Wow, I'm bringing my fucking baseball glove. Right?
I will be front row knocking bitches down for those bottles.
Yeah.
Getting them all.
Everybody's nice and chill until I huck one of those pill bottles into the crowd, and then they're suddenly like...
Amanda's throwing elbows.
This is mine. It's like a fucking bridesmaid show. Catching that fucking...
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'd run from catching the bouquet, man. I learned the first time.
So, being not like you guys have been around for 10 or 15 years, have you guys played a show together? Have you guys been on stage and done the whole thing together?
We've done some open mics. We were just starting to get some interest from some of our local friends who have their own productions or their own venues where they will host an artist. But then the lockdown happened just before we were about to actually have a show with a friend's band. So,
shit, eh?
Aside from that, the only thing we've done is a basement show at my birthday in between the last two lockdowns. Follow all the COVID protocols and just have some of my friends over and
of course, right,
play for them. But that's the closest we've come to an actual show yet.
Oh wow, eh? So
yeah.
So you guys are gonna rip the stage apart the first time you guys are actually on stage together, right?
That's the plan. Maybe this fall our stage should be done by the fall, and we're looking at just having a private show for our fans and stuff before we do the big fucking concert that we're gonna do where we are. Maybe you guys might be one of the bands, one of two bands that we bring on board and just do a fucking private show. Obviously, we'll pay you your wage and stuff. You're already in them, Bill, so you know.
Yeah, maybe it'll happen.
Walk over. Hey guys.
Yeah. Right. So,
we would absolutely be honored if you decided to have us.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We absolutely will have you for sure. I mean, it's going to be a permanent stage, so
yeah,
definitely. Piper sunglasses, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right outside. Make sure.
We should have Wes on the show. I was going to say something else about pit vipers, but it doesn't really fit.
Nah, we'll get him on the show tomorrow.
But they do. They fit really comfortably. I've had a few pairs on my face, and they're definitely something to check out. I definitely want a pair of those pit vipers. Didn't you guys order a bunch, or you're going to order a bunch?
Well, the one guy at work's he's a fucking retard. No offense to Almond. We call him
service words.
I'm sorry. The guy's a turd. He's either way. Regardless, yes, we are putting in a big order. I think there's 5 of us that are ordering our Pit Viper sunglasses here real soon. Sorry, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm always looking for a new pair of sunglasses because they grow little legs and wander away.
I've gone through so many pairs.
You put them down and then they're just gone.
Yeah. These I don't even have them now. They're gone.
They walked away.
I put them down, and they're gone.
My point, exactly.
The pit vipers range. Oh, you found them? Nice. The pit vipers range anywhere from, I think it's $50 to $150, but they have a lifetime guarantee. They're interactive. You can like snap pieces on and put other pieces on, and they're all kinds of wild colors and stuff. Like they're a lot of fun on top of really good sunglasses.
Being like myself, being kicked in the ears and the face so much, my ears are swollen different. So when I put on sunglasses, they're crooked. Pit Vipers has the adjustable lenses so that I can make that straight no matter how crooked I fucking hold my head or you know how crooked I am, right? So
yeah, my one eyebrow is always like below the sunglasses.
right.
How do I fix this one?
Yeah. As you can see, they're pretty smashed together. My fucking ears are done. Like, I'm lucky to even get that piercing. Face. When he pierced it, he's like, dude, that's pretty thick. I'm like, I know, man. I've been kicked a few times. Might have been hit a few times, you know. But
maybe why I never got into the whole professional kickboxing thing is because I was curious about it, but then I realized that people were going to be kicking me in the head.
Yeah.
And I've had about 3 concussions already, so it's really not the best idea for me.
When you did your training, did you do just the training, or were you originally training to do fights in the ring?
I was doing just the training. I was doing just for the fitness aspect of it. But they were offering fights, and they were offering like training, more in-depth training for that sort of thing. And I was curious about it, but
like if you just join and you're just training to just say be in shape and shit, it's actually a total different training regimen than when you're training to be in the ring. Because when I was in the ring, I did 7 fights in total. Not that I was like a professional or pro and I won every fucking fight. I think I was 4-3 or whatever, right? So, but that took up all my time. You know what I mean? Like that was 7 days a week. You fucking trained for 3 months, and then you got in the ring. You got your ass kicked, you know. And then you get out of the ring, and you'd be like, "Fuck! I got 3 more months of training for my next fight." Right?
Well, actually, I chose a very specific gym. They don't unfortunately exist anymore. They were called Wilson Kickboxing. They actually helped us with Parasite, with the boxing aspect of Parasite, just to make sure that my form and everything was still there.
Still proper, right?
Yeah. So he had people that were like actively in like fights. Yeah. And then he had people that were just there for the fitness aspect, which was me. And we all did the same training. So that's why I specifically picked that school, because I wanted that level of training.
Yeah. Well, I've always put 2 and 2 together, getting into that ring or getting on stage. It's always that first note or that first punch you receive will determine how well you're on stage, right? Like when you get up there and you hit that guitar note and you hit that vocal note, you know if it's good all night long now. You know when you're gonna win that show. You take that shitty note you hit, or you miss the wrong note, it's over. Your fight's over, whether it's you're on stage or your fight, or regardless what you're doing in life, making fucking donuts. you roll that donut wrong and the rest of your day's ruined, right? Like, so that's obviously had to help you in your training for music on top of everything. You know what I mean? Like that discipline.
Yeah.
To be so focused on something, right?
Anybody who knows me knows that once I put my mind to something, it's happening. That's the only reason I managed to graduate university with honors, like, because just gotta focus.
The woman gene.
I've got to ask, when you went to university, what the fuck did you go to university for?
I took pre-med, actually. I wanted to be a coroner. But yeah. But unfortunately, I did not qualify for med school.
So, no way.
No, yeah. You have to be. I graduated cum laude, and they're looking for all the magna cum laude. So they're looking for the 95 percentile, and I
and
was
above. Yeah,
I was in the 80s.
The same
So.
deal. A good buddy of mine, he's a
It's
coroner
way higher than I could
and a
ever get.
mortician. So I was picking up bodies from the crime scenes and cleaning this and that and bringing them to him and whatever. But my original goal was to become the mortician and stuff, right? And then because I didn't pass my one thing, it was over, right? So it was like, fuck. And then, well, he had a heart attack too, which kind of put him off of doing the business because it was too much stress for him and his heart. Mm-hmm. So he just retired out of where he was and whatever. But that's kind of cool. You were going to be a mortician in a corner because I followed the same passion. I had the same field. Now, I've got to ask, did you work with cadavers and see dead bodies and stuff?
No, that's primarily like actual med school. I did do a lot of dissections. I dissected a shark. I dissected a mud puppy, a cat. A lot of people are really upset about that one. I did dissect a cat.
I can see cutting a cat open though, for scientific purposes, of course.
Yep.
Right. Like,
I'm just gonna sit here and make faces and listen.
Yeah, man. Like working with Lenny, like. All
of the cats that we dissected died of natural causes. I made sure that before we, because I felt
right.
No, of course. You're not just gonna grab a frog out of the road and fucking cut it open or grab your neighbor's cat or anything. Obviously, it's all sanctioned and proper, right?
Yeah.
But I know it's
what if it's pooping in the garden?
if it poops in your garden,
I hate citrus.
Set up a fucking bear trap. Right? But as far as picking the bodies up, getting used to the smell, getting used to just it's something which is I find very weird, and it's very weird to talk about with normal people, but you'll understand this. Our culture is so disoriented from death.
Yeah.
Back in the day, your grandmother would die in the fucking chair, and you'd carry her out back and you'd bury her, whether it was your parents, your grandmother, even your little brother back in the day. You were surrounded by it. But in this day and age, we're so separated from the absolute opposite of life, which is death, which everybody should be involved in and should be aware of. So many people hide from that. And to work in those trades as, say, a mortician or someone that does autopsies, people look at you like you're fucking sick or demented in that sense, right? So for you to do that field, how did you justify that in your mind? Because I know how I did it,
So mine was actually my reason behind it was actually sort of anxiety based. So I knew I wanted to be in the medical field, but I was absolutely terrified of making a mistake and killing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided on the coroner route because I can't accidentally kill somebody; they're already dead.
That's where I kind of the same thing. As much as I would have loved to be a doctor. And then
there's the whole legal aspect of it as well, because they do. My dad was a police officer, so I was really interested in the whole crime aspect of it as well, because you do the autopsy and then you get to be a witness for and it's the whole job just seemed really, really cool to me, and I'm pretty upset that I didn't manage to make it there. But
no, I'm in the same boat. I'm very disappointed that our little thing didn't go through. I would have loved to have that as an opportunity, man, because it's weird to, as far as our society goes, as far as death goes, a lot of people are not exposed to it anymore. And it's not that it's a shame, but it's definitely a shame because everybody dies every fucking day. Whether it's your mom, your grandma, or fucking people you used to know in high school from 20 years ago, blah, 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 right? But it's happening every goddamn day. And for us to ignore it or shy away from that, it's no different than shying away from fucking eating or drinking water. It's a part of life, man.
Yeah.
And for how do you go on? For people to not understand why, like yourself and myself, are able to work with the dead per se, or within that field, it's weird. Like that people don't understand that, you know?
Well, yeah, it's part of life. It's just,
You can't stop it,
I think
you
I'm
know?
so all right with the idea of death, because my family is really into, we're a family of hunters. So essentially, when I was 4 or 5, my dad took me hunting with him, and he got a deer, and he's like, "Listen, like, you know, this deer is now dead.
We shot this to
We
eat,
shot this
you
deer.
know?
We're gonna eat it. We're gonna like." And it was actually also why I was interested in medicine, because essentially while he was gutting the deer, he was like, "Okay, this is the liver, this is the heart, this is," and he was pointing out all of the body parts to me, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I know some people are I'm gonna probably catch a little flack for that, but
Hey, I will too, man, 100%.
it's not like he was teaching me all of this stuff out of respect for the animal and for medicine, and he wanted to, he's like, look, these
I always
are the parts
find
of
it
the deer, and
hilarious. People will bitch at you as you say. I was born and raised in a hunting family, same as yourself. We would cut and kill the deer ourselves, whether it was deer, boar, alligator. Fuck, I grew up down south, right? So we killed everything. Squirrel.
I've got some bear sausages in my freezer right now.
You know, I had actually the first time I had bear was in Canada, up in my friend's place, and then they actually took me bear hunting and stuff. But where was I going?
How's it going, Kyle?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys.
Fascinated, honestly.
No, I'm loving listening to you guys. I absolutely am. I just wanted to check in on Kyle, see how he was doing.
I'm from a completely different background.
Do explain then. Like, I would like to know the non-hunting side of things.
Yes.
Well, I was raised in a very very religious family, actually. Not that that's exclusive in any way with the hunting community. But my dad was into technology and cars, and that was his focus. And my mom was a big fan of music and literature. So I got a very in-depth musical education from the time I was very young. Started playing piano, started playing other instruments, and then started singing in the 10th grade, 9th grade.
Oh, wow.
And anyways, I ended up going to university for music. I was going to be an opera singer.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got to ask, you can sing opera?
Yes!
That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. That's amazing, man. I love that.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
That was fantastic.
Friends of mine out of Montreal, Empire D'Amour, the lead singer, Anna from there, is an opera singer, and they combine their heavy metal with the opera.
I love
so
that.
to finally hear another person that sings the opera, oh my God, that's so awesome.
That was amazing.
That was some of my earliest actual interaction with the metal scene, was that that neoclassical kind of style out of Europe. Whether it be bands like Nightwish or Within Temptation and people like them, or whether it be more of the like new wave British heavy metal bands like Iron Maiden or something like Blind Guardian, Dragon Force, whatever it was. That was where I got into the heavy music scene. And as I was in school, it's like this total culture clash where I'm very much the black sheep of the department.
Oh,
and trying to reconcile that, and eventually deciding, well, honestly, that seems like a much more interesting scene, and I'm gonna go with that one. Sorry.
Yeah. All I know, like when I first started listening to my music and shit, it wasn't until I got into Marilyn Manson, my parents were like, "What the fuck, dude?" You know, like, but through it all and all, it's weird how the music evolves. Like you say, Iron Maiden, you know, you listen to this and that, and then you evolve, and then next thing you know, we're all listening to, like, it's not that I only listen to heavy metal, man. Like I listen to punk, listen to a lot of fucking techno nowadays. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My newer music is a lot of it's inspired by techno. You know what I mean? So I have that versatility. It's a huge advantage, and
It really is.
Yeah.
right, like
Yeah, it works out well for you guys, eh? Like really well for you guys. I almost stuttered. Wow.
hey, it's all good, man. I'm slurring half.
I'm not even drinking, and I almost.
All right, so
Yeah,
That's
one of the
so
things,
funny.
one of the most valuable things that I took from that education was from my history of music classes, just seeing how every generation, for hundreds of years of musical theory, they're taking something from before and they're adding something new. They're taking something from before. Every generation adds something new. And nowadays things move so fast. And so an entire generation of music composition can be started and ended in 10 years.
and that's
But it still follows the same process. Everything
kind of a shame, and that aspect
takes what came
where-
before and adds something new.
Well, not really. It's kind of nice that we have an industry that continuously reinvents the wheel, and it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
That is
like-
true, though. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Kyle, I totally get what you're saying. Like as far as taking something old and making it something new, and like whenever you do something like that, a lot of people are like, "Oh, don't reinvent the wheel, just do this and it." But like we actually get to do that in this industry, whether it be yourselves as musicians, myself as a writer, us as podcasters, whatever it is we're doing, we get to take that wheel and reshape it and put it back out there, and usually we
Even that we're reshaping
good
it. We're
things.
just making that wheel bigger. We're just adding another spoke to that wheel, right?
Yeah.
We're taking aspects
okay,
of the wheel that we like and then adding our own.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We could talk in
No.
metaphors all day. I'm a writer. I love it. Yeah.
The next spoke has FX fucking Mayberry written right on that spoke because of the music you guys write to help project and move our music forward. You know what I mean? Like to keep the scene alive. It's hard.
So I have an actual question for you guys.
Because
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
We have covered tons of shit. We're coming up on an hour. I mean, we can talk all. It doesn't matter. We can talk all day long. But we're coming up on our hour, which is usually which is usually the time I say, is there anything that we haven't spoken about today that you guys want to put on the table?
What all have we spoken about today? We covered a lot of ground, honestly.
We did cover a lot.
You know what we didn't cover, Charlotte? The beach is that way? Or is it that way? There you go,
These two
baby.
with the gun show. Oh my god.
Love it.
Go see TJ Jesus.
I will take a moment to shout out some friends of ours who've been very helpful. First of all, Dave Tyrell for introducing us to you guys, for introducing us to so many new people in our audience. He's been incredibly supportive. He and Jay over at the Savage Circle.
That's excellent.
Big shout out to our friends at the band Hot Apollo who introduced us to Dave. Big shout out to my cousin Peter Harris for all of his help in taking our recordings and making them listenable. And then I know I'm forgetting one more person.
Kyle.
Oh, right. Kyle Kane, our local videographer, who we formed a very good partnership with. His company Lights Heavy Work for video production.
Nice.
Yep.
No, that's fantastic.
Right on.
Man. And yourself?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you guys should check out the most recent issue of Culture Shock because Kyle and I are on the cover.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Excellent,
Awesome. That's fantastic. You guys are at a Newmarket, right? We covered that, but yes? Yeah. Okay, so there's quite a few bands kicking around where you guys are. Who do you recommend out of your area?
Like, who should we be listening to?
Ooh.
Other than your amazing selves.
Well, first one comes to mind for me. They're not strictly a Newmarket band, but their bass player is local, and they're called the Anti-Queens, punk rock group. They've made a big name for themselves.
Awesome.
And then their bass player also has a local project called the Hysterics that you guys should check out as well.
Mm-hmm. They're both actually on the list.
I'm pretty sure TJ's already on them.
Yeah.
So I have a new band for you guys. They unfortunately don't have any music out just yet, but they're definitely a band to keep an eye out for. They're called the Paroxysm.
Ooh, that's a fun name.
That's a cool name. And
right on. What's their genre? What are they?
They're definitely on the heavier, punk side, I think.
Oh, excellent.
I am not good at genres and identifying them.
No, I'm like that.
That's fine. Their music, that works.
But yeah, they're going to be hopefully dropping their first single really soon. So
okay, we'll definitely keep an eye out for them for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So, where can we find you before we kick the world out and keep you to ourselves?
Well, I believe you got our Instagram there on the screen right now.
Yeah.
I've seen our YouTube channel come up there. Just FX May Vary on YouTube.
Love this guy. This guy's a hero.
We've got Brendan's doing a great job. Thank you, Brendan.
Oh, fantastic.
But yeah, we got our Facebook page. That's where the majority of our content hits first. So FX May Vary on Facebook.
Awesome.
So, Charlotte, anything I'm missing? Other than your
I guess
TikTok?
I have to mention the TikTok. Stars Car Karaoke.
Watch us dance on TikTok, baby.
I sing on TikTok. I can't dance. I can't dance at all.
I can't dance either.
I'll tell you what. I can dance, so I'll dance. You sing.
I tell people that me dancing sort of looks like a baby giraffe that's just been shot by a tranquilizer dart.
Going down.
Have you seen the episode of Friends where Phoebe goes running?
Yeah.
You ever seen the episode? Yeah. Okay, so that's me dancing.
Yeah.
I'm like a 6-year-old having a seizure in the middle of a park because I'm not getting what I want.
I will proudly say when I dance, it's like Elaine's little kicks.
Yeah. This is the worst part. I'm a dancer, man. Like I was square dancing, I did line dancing, I did all the fucking country bullshit because my old man was a teacher and all that. I did a couple tours with Magic Mike.
Oh,
you don't know what that is, right?
Yeah.
So we did a couple Ontario tours with them and stuff. So
the things I find out about my co-host while I'm on the show.
Dance a little bit, I might have to work out for a month before we start dancing, but.
Oh, I am not restreaming that shit, TJ. Jesus.
Brendan will hook us up.
No, you're on your own. You're on your own for that.
Me and Brendan, baby.
We're partners, but it stops here.
So, I might be known to be a dancer here and there, so we'll figure that shit
out. Dancer.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure if we have a dance number in a video that we call you first.
Yeah.
Just make sure the next time you guys play, there's a pole around. I mean,
I don't need a pole. I can dance either way. I'm pretty good. I do have my tearaways on today. I could give you a preview.
Oh, fuck. And I didn't even drink today. I don't drink, but still.
You guys are amazing.
Some days working with you, I need one.
You guys are phenomenal, man. I can't thank you enough for being on today, man.
It's been such a blast to spend the afternoon with you guys. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys. Really.
Couldn't be happier. You guys have been great.
Hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't even notice.
Well, we're at an hour 10, which is right around the time I kick everybody else out. And, only it's Brandon today, so he has the end button.
Yeah.
He's the control of the end button today.
Play it loud, play it proud, beaches that way or that way, depending on where you live. And I got to piss something fierce, so